So this episode's gonna be an interlude before we continue with more miniature painting showcases. As you've already know, I've already made several painting videos, especially the last time is the Skaven and also Flesh Eater Corpse. And during that time, this is the brush that I've been using, a standard Citadel that come from the starter set, and also which I've bought the base and layer on the small sizes. They've been used for some times, and I'm cleaning up them after painting for several minutes, and you can see the tip of the brush. They've been quite worn out for some time. Even though I'm doing cleaning up on them, they still look used up. And I'm trying to browse for several way and tip-centric to reconditioning them, and in this video I'm gonna show you the step-by-step a way of reconditioning them, not completely restoring them to their original condition, but only recondition them for prolonged use. Now you can see that this is the small brush. They are still dirty, and we need to clean up the leftover paint, and also I need to brush them up so the tip of the brush will return to the normal condition. You can see that some of the bristle seems to be broken and out of places. We'll also try to positioning them back to the center. So for the first step, we will do cleaning up, and that is to use a thinner and clean up the leftover paint. So this is a paint thinner, and I'm putting my brush over here, and this should dissolve the paint by itself. You have to put it for quite some time, and also press it into the bottom so the paint would go off. Pull it for some time and use the tissue paper to clean the leftover paint. So once we've put the brush to dry, we're gonna apply and smear starch glue into the tip of the brush. The glue should keep the tip of the brush should work as a binder and keep the tip of the brush in its intended position and form. Now, after we've applied enough glue, we will tie the brush using white thread. This is white thread, but before we tie it with the white thread, we're gonna apply a celluloid tape, a small strip of celluloid tape into the base of the brush up here. This celluloid tape should help the white thread in its position, especially on the very end of the tip of the brush. So just take the brush and turn it around until the white thread cover all the brush the brush surface, and then after we will get Now, here we are. After we've done wrapping and make the brush looks mummified, we're gonna let it cure for maybe around 12 hours, and then we will see how the result would looks like. So for this episode, I've reconditioned a total of 3 brushes. They are from the Citadel standard brushes, the base layer, and also the starter brush. So I've left them stored for 12 to 24 hours, and next we're gonna unwrap them and then gonna dip them again in fresh water and let the glue dissolve and see how the result of the brush after this treatment. So you just have to unwind the thread, and then I'm gonna peel off the celluloid tape, which should hold the thread in their position. So the brush is still a little bit becomes sticky because of the glue left over. Gonna have to soften them and let the glue dissolve. After we dip the brush into the water for a while, we're gonna pass them slowly and softly into tissue paper. This should remove the remaining starch glue, but not entirely, which is a good one because with the remaining starch glue in the brush, this should have the brush stay centered and hold them, especially if there are some bristle that out of the center. So the importance of the starch glue is to hold them together into the center. And here it is, the brush after we've cleaned them up and unwrapped them. You can see that the brush has been reconditioned a bit, but not completely perfect. There's still some bristle that get uncentered, and you can also see that for this base brush there's a strand of hair that out of this of the center, and their shape is also a little bit bent, I guess. It's actually because we've already cleaned them up, so they still look more centered than previously, but The reason is because maybe some of the paint is already clogged inside the base of this where this strain get out. So if it's not clean very well, the clog of the paint that's clogged in the base of this brush will make the remaining strand out of its place. So if you compare with the brand new brush, this is the small layer brush, you can clearly compare this together. The brush is supposed to have a more centered and more packed into and looks smaller because it is already packed, and while this one is already out of the places. So I guess this technique is not entirely restore the brush to its original shape, but it's still quite good. If you wash the brush into the water, they will come back to their original shape for some time. And I guess you can still use this brush for several painting again before they completely broken and maybe unusable. Okay, I think that's all from me today on the brush reconditioning. It's not the best method yet, and it's still an experimental one, but I will update you again with other methods and tools that might be helpful in your journey of painting. Okay, I'll see you again